Erschienen ist der herrliche Tag is a chorale from the Eastertide section of the Orgelbuchlein. It's a very joyful text about the resurrection. Erschienen ist der herrliche Tag, dran sich niemand genug freuen mag. Christ unser Herr heut triumphiert, all sein Feind gefangen führt. Alleluia. The glorious day has appeared, over which no one can rejoice enough. Christ our Lord triumphs today. He leads all his enemies captive. Alleluia. It's a chorale from the mid-16th century and originally a very long one. It had 14 stanzas when sung as a chorale. It's also characterized by a triple time, a triple meter, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 meter, which gives the chorale a kind of dance character which reflects the text, the glorious day, and Alleluia. In the music, the dominant idea here is a canon between two voices. They both present the chorale melody with one voice following another. This technique has appeared in a number of other chorales in the Orgelbuchlein. It's not very common, but it's not unique to this piece either. We might wonder why Bach decided to use a canon for this chorale. The most obvious answer that you would normally think of is because the melody allows it. But that actually is unlikely. In this particular case, the melody does not work very well in canon, and Bach has to make a number of compromises in the following voice in order to allow the canon to work, or in order to allow the second voice to follow. There are at least 3 quite drastic alterations to the canon to the following voice, and I'll demonstrate them now. This is the second phrase of the chorale. When that's answered in canon, Bach has to make several alterations of both pitch and rhythm in place of this. He has to replace several notes. Here and here. Otherwise, the two melodies don't fit together. Equally, in the third phrase, which goes like this, here Bach has to adapt the rhythm, and the following phrase, the phrase in the following voice ends up actually being a bar shorter. So the melody does not work very well in canon. That means that the canon is used, in a sense, in spite of the music, in spite of the melody, rather than because of it. And that may make you wonder, in turn, why Bach did decide to do this, what other reasons there might be apart from musical ones, ones implicit in the melody itself, to subject the chorale melody to this treatment. There are several possible answers, symbolic reasons, perhaps, for example. One musicologist has proposed that the text may have inspired it, particularly the final line of that first verse that I mentioned earlier. He leads all his enemies captive. The idea of leading may have inspired this. There's also a possible relation with other musical settings. There's one in particular by Bach's cousin, Johann Walter, to which this setting is clearly related. We don't know who came first, but if Walter came first, then perhaps his cousin Johann Sebastian Bach also wanted to use a similar technique. Walter also tries to run this melody in canon. So the canon is not unique, but it is still surprising. There is one unique feature related to the canon, namely the disposition of the voices, the placing of the voice parts. This is a unique texture in the Orgelbuchlein chorales. Each of the canonic voices is set apart. It's on its own division of the organ. The accompanying voices are then separate. I play them on or to be played on a separate keyboard. And there are two accompanying voices, and these are characterized by an obsessive rhythm. It's a kind of joy figure that you find in some of the other chorales in the Orgelbuchlein as well, with two short notes and a long note, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. In this particular setting, the use of that rhythm has a very obsessive character. It occurs on every single beat throughout the entire setting. It also, because of the disposition, has a kind of etude-like character. These motifs are played in the left hand in parallel thirds and parallel sixths. And so forth. This is perhaps related to the more pedagogical side of the Orgelbuchlein. At the end, both hands come together on the accompanying keyboard after the chorale is finished with a rising phrase that perhaps symbolizes resurrection, is perhaps related to the Easter theme of this chorale. As far as the performance is concerned, it's relatively clear in the sense of how to divide up the music between the hands, one hand for the main chorale, the feet for the following voice in the canon, and the other hand in playing the accompaniment with a registration that allows the canon and allows the chorale to be heard. In this organ I've used two quite weighty reed stops. This one, the Shalmai, which has a kind of trumpet-like character, again that's quite appropriate I think for Easter and for resurrection, and in the pedal an equivalent sound. The 8-foot posaune, again with a kind of trumpet-like character. And then the accompaniment on a contrasting register, the flutes here, which allows the chorale melody to be heard with particular distinction.
Thank you for being part of the Orgelbuchlein project. This is more than music. It's a message of deep human emotions, from sorrow to joy, and a shared hope for a better future.
At the Conscious Foundation, we believe everyone deserves a peaceful home, and we think that music has the unique power to unite people in harmony. From the organ at St. Michael's Peace Church in Leuven, we bring this vision to life.
Through inclusive composition projects, regular concerts, and our annual Organ Marathon for Peace, we inspire connection and hope. One day, we dream of hundreds of organs worldwide joined together in a resounding call for peace.
Help us amplify this message by joining our Patreon community. Link in the description.